Hello my friends and family, kindly sit comfortably and listen to this story. The story titled 7 Years of Love had turned into 7 years of betrayal. The beginning and the hook. The night Mabel met Michael felt ordinary at first. She was in the university library searching for a textbook on constitutional law. The shelves towered above her head. She tiptoed, stretched her hand, and still failed to reach the copy she wanted. "Need some help?" a voice asked from behind. Mabel turned. A tall young man stood there, smiling as if he had rehearsed that smile for years. "Yes, please," she replied softly. Michael reached up with ease and pulled the book down. He handed it to her. "You should not fight shelves alone," he teased. Mabel laughed. "And you should not sneak up on people in libraries. Do you want me to scream and embarrass you? If you scream, everyone will believe you are guilty of hiding exam answers," Michael said. That made her laugh louder. From that moment she knew he was not like the others. They started meeting more often. At the cafeteria, Michael sat by her table. At the lecture hall, he saved her a seat. At night he called and asked about her studies. "You talk too much," Mabel teased one evening. "You think too much," Michael replied. Perfect balance. Their friendship turned into something deeper. Soon they were walking hand in hand across campus. People noticed. They whispered that Mabel and Michael looked like they were made for each other. Michael studied engineering. Mabel studied law. They joked about their fields. "You engineers are boring calculators," Mabel said. "At least we solve problems," Michael countered. "Lawyers only argue." Their quarrels always ended in laughter. By the time they graduated, Mabel had given Michael her trust. He told her he wanted to build a life in the city. He asked her to come with him. She agreed without hesitation. In the city they became inseparable. They found a small apartment. They decorated it together. They filled it with pictures of their smiles. To outsiders they looked perfect. But Mabel carried one question in her heart. "When will we get married?" she asked Michael many times. "Soon," he always replied. "Let us wait for the right time." At first Mabel accepted the excuse. They were young. They needed jobs. They needed money. But as the years passed, the excuse became heavier. The first year passed, then the second. By the third year, friends began to ask, "Why has he not married you yet?" Mabel defended him. She said Michael was careful. She said he wanted the wedding to be perfect. By the fifth year, whispers grew louder. Some friends said she was wasting her youth. Others said Michael was using her. Mabel ignored them. She believed Michael loved her. She trusted his words. By the seventh year, the whispers turned into warnings. A friend told her, 7 years is too long. If he wanted marriage, he would have done it by now. Mabel smiled on the outside, but her heart began to worry. One evening she asked him again, "Michael, when will you tie the knot? 7 years is a long time." Michael kissed her forehead. "Soon, my love, I promise." But his promises felt thin. The truth arrived by accident. Michael traveled for work, also he said. Mabel stayed behind. While cleaning his drawer, she found a wallet he had forgotten. Inside was a small photograph. 2 children smiled at the camera, a boy and a girl. Their eyes looked familiar. Mabel stared at the picture for minutes. Her chest pounded. She asked him about it when he returned. "They are my cousin's children," Michael said quickly. Mabel forced herself to believe him. But the seed of doubt had been planted. Her suspicion grew. She noticed Michael received calls he never answered in her presence. He left the room to speak in whispers. He avoided some questions. One evening he told her he had a client to meet. Mabel decided to follow him. She hid behind a parked car and watched. Michael walked into a house at the edge of town. A woman opened the door. 2 children ran out shouting, "Daddy." Mabel froze. She watched as Michael hugged them all. He kissed the woman. He carried the children. The photograph in his wallet came alive before her eyes. Her world crashed. That night she confronted him. "Who are they?" she demanded. Michael tried to deny. His words stumbled. At last he confessed. "Yes, I am married. For more than 10 years. Those are my children." Mabel's body shook. "You wasted my 7 years," she screamed. "You stole my life." Michael begged. He said he loved her. He said he loved his wife too. He said he could not choose. Mabel stared at him in disbelief. 7 years of lies stood before, days turned into weeks. The photograph never left her mind. Every time Michael received a phone call, she watched him closely. He would lower his voice and walk out of the room. He would return minutes later, smiling too wide, pretending nothing had happened. One night she asked softly, "Why do you always leave the room when your phone rings?" Michael laughed. "Because your ears are too sharp. I do not want you stealing my business secrets." Mabel forced a smile, but deep inside her doubts grew stronger. Suspicion is like fire. Once lit, it burns everything. Mabel began to notice small things, a ring mark on Michael's finger that appeared sometimes then disappeared. She asked him once, "Why does it look like you wear a ring when you are away?" He raised his hand and laughed. "This finger is too handsome. Even without a ring it shines." She laughed, but not with her heart. One evening she decided to surprise him at his office. She carried food in a bag. She wanted to play the role of a sweet fiancé. But when she arrived, the receptionist looked confused. "Michael left early today. He said he had an urgent family matter." Family matter. The words pierced her chest. What family was he speaking of? She left the office, her hands trembling. She wanted to believe it was nothing. But the photograph of the children flashed again in her memory. Suspicion turned into obsession. Mabel followed him secretly once. He told her he had a late meeting with a client. She walked a distance behind him. Her heart raced like a drum. Michael stopped by a flower shop. He bought a bouquet of roses. Mabel smiled briefly, thinking maybe they were for her, but then he walked past their street. He took a different road. Mabel gasped. Tears blurred her vision. Her legs trembled so hard she almost collapsed. 7 years of waiting, 7 years of trust, 7 years of hope, all shattered in seconds. She stumbled back, clutching her chest. Her breath came fast, her eyes wide. The man she called her future was already someone else's present. That night, Mabel returned home before Michael. She sat on the couch, her mind spinning like a broken wheel. When he entered, she rose slowly. "Who are they?" she asked in a low voice. Michael dropped his keys on the table. Who? Do not play with me," she screamed. "The woman, the children, I saw them. Do not lie to me again." Michael froze, his face drained of color. For the first time, he had no ready excuse. After a long silence he spoke. "Yes, they are mine. The woman is my wife. The children are my blood." Mabel's knees buckled. She gripped the chair to stay upright. "You are married," she whispered. "Yes." His voice cracked. "For more than 10 years." A scream filled the apartment. "You wasted my 7 years. You stole my life. You made me look like a fool." Michael dropped to his knees. "I love you, Mabel. I love her too. I did not want to lose you." Mabel's tears rolled down her cheeks. She shook her head in disbelief. "How could you do this? How could you lie for so long?" Michael reached for her hands. She pulled away. 7 years of love had turned into 7 years of betrayal, and that was only the beginning of her pain. Michael had no answer. His silence was louder than any word. Mabel stopped eating. She stopped sleeping. Rage became her food. Betrayal became her blanket. She walked through the streets in a daze, whispering to herself, "I will not let him get away with this." She imagined walking into his wife's house and shouting the truth. She imagined showing the children pictures of their father with her. She imagined burning his clothes, smashing his car, destroying everything he touched. Her mind played out scenes of revenge like movies on repeat. One evening she called him. Her voice was cold. "Michael, do you know what you did to me? Do you know what you turned me into?" "I love you," he replied. "That is the truth. I love you." Mabel laughed bitterly. "You do not know love. You know only lies." She ended the call. Days passed. Mabel's friends noticed the change in her. She stopped laughing. Her eyes carried shadows. She sat quietly during gatherings, staring at nothing. When they asked what was wrong, she only said, "Life is a thief." But inside her chest, fire burned. One night she followed Michael again. This time she was not afraid to be seen. She watched as he kissed his wife goodnight, tucked his children into bed, and then drove away. Her hands shook. She wanted to run to the door and tell the woman everything. She wanted to break the home he had kept secret, but something stopped her. Maybe fear, maybe pity, maybe the ghost of love that still chained her heart. When Michael returned to her apartment, she confronted him again. "I will not live like this," she said. "Either you choose me or you lose me." Michael sighed. "You do not understand. I cannot leave my family, but I cannot leave you either." Her eyes blazed. "Then you want me to be your secret forever? You want me to waste my life waiting for scraps?" Michael's silence was the answer. That night Mabel stood before the mirror. She stared at her reflection. Her face looked older. Her eyes were tired. "This is what 7 years of lies does," she whispered. She gripped the edge of the sink, breathing heavily. Her mind screamed for revenge. But a small voice inside asked, "What will revenge give you? Will it return your lost years? Will it heal your broken heart?" Mabel's hands trembled. She did not know the answer. For days she battled herself. Half of her wanted to destroy Michael. Half of her wanted to disappear and forget he ever existed. But forgetting was impossible. 7 years cannot vanish like smoke. One evening she sat on the balcony, watching the sunset. Michael arrived, holding a gift bag. "I bought you something," he said gently. She refused to take it. "Stop pretending," she said. "Stop trying to buy my silence." Michael's face hardened. "If you expose me, you will ruin everything. Do you want to destroy the lives of innocent children?" The word stabbed her deeper. He was using the children as a shield. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She whispered, "You already destroyed me." The tension between them grew heavier each day. Mabel could feel herself breaking. Each night she planned her next move. Each morning she changed her mind. But one truth was clear. The man she loved was a stranger. The man she trusted was a liar. The man she dreamed of marrying was already bound to another. All right, Silver, here is asterisk asterisk part 4 asterisk asterisk of asterisk 7 years of lies asterisk written in the style you want. No commas, no asterisks, no em dashes. Standard simple format. Focus on thriller, suspense and Mabel's dangerous steps. Part 4 Dangerous Steps. Mabel sat in silence 4 days. Her mind was a battlefield. Every thought pointed to revenge. Every memory of laughter twisted into pain. She asked herself again and again, how do you punish a man who steals 7 years of your life? One evening she wrote a letter. In it she explained everything. She named Michael. She described how he courted her while he lived as a husband. She sealed the letter and kept it in her drawer. She told herself she would deliver it to his wife. Michael noticed her coldness. He asked why she no longer smiled. She looked him in the eye and said, I know who you are. Do not think I will stay quiet forever. Fear crossed his face for the first time. He begged her not to expose him. He spoke of his children. He said they were innocent. He said they did not deserve to suffer. Mabel laughed bitterly. Did I deserve to suffer? Did I deserve 7 years of lies? The thought of exposure grew stronger each day. She imagined walking into his family house with photos of their trips. She imagined placing the pictures on the table in front of his wife. She imagined the shock. She imagined the tears. But each time she prepared to act, her heart trembled. She pitied the children. She pitied the woman who knew nothing. Yet the fire in her chest refused to cool. Michael tried to buy time. He brought gifts. He brought flowers. He whispered sweet words. But Mabel's ears were deaf to romance. She told him, "No gift can erase betrayal." One night she followed him again. She stood outside his family house in the dark. She watched through the window as he laughed with his children. The boy sat on his lap. The girl tugged at his shirt. His wife smiled at him with love. Mabel's eyes filled with tears. She thought of the nights she waited for him. She thought of the birthdays he missed. She thought of the promises he made. Rage boiled inside her. She stepped forward. Her feet carried her to the door. She raised her hand to knock. Then she froze. Her heart pounded. If she knocked, she would destroy everything. If she stayed silent, she would destroy herself. She pulled back and ran into the night. The next morning, Michael came to her apartment. He noticed her red eyes. He said softly, "You followed me again." Mabel turned sharply. "Yes, I did. And I saw the truth with my own eyes." He stepped closer. "I am begging you. Do not ruin me." Her laugh was sharp. "You ruined yourself long ago." Suspense filled the air between them. Michael grew more desperate. He told her if she exposed him, he would deny everything. He said no one would believe her. He said she would look like a jealous lover. Those words lit another fire inside Mabel. She decided she would gather proof. She began to collect receipts of their trips. She saved pictures of their vacations. She kept records of his messages. She prepared a file of evidence. Her plan was clear. If he would not confess, she would expose him. But Michael was not blind. He saw her plotting. He began to watch her every move. He checked her phone when she was away. He erased some of his old messages. He became a man at war with his own shadow. Their love story had turned into a thriller. Two hearts locked in lies. One ready to explode with truth. The other desperate to bury it forever. That was the beginning of the most dangerous chapter of Mabel's life. Alright, Silver, here is part 5 of 7 years of lies . The suspense now explodes into paranoia, threats and near violence. Mabel's apartment became a war zone. She avoided Michael during the day, but at night he always returned. He would stand at her door and beg. Sometimes he shouted. Sometimes he wept. One night she opened the door and said coldly, "You are not welcome here." He forced his way in. His eyes were red, his breath heavy. "Mabel, you will not destroy me. You will not take my family from me. What are you planning?" he asked sharply. Mabel's voice was calm. "The truth. That is all. The world will know the truth." He slammed his fist on the table. "If you try it, you will regret it." She laughed bitterly. "I already regret everything." The beginning and the hook. The night Mabel met Michael felt ordinary at first. She was in the university library searching for a textbook on constitutional law. The shelves towered above her head. She tiptoed, stretched her hand, and still failed to reach the copy she wanted. "Need some help?" a voice asked from behind. Mabel turned. A tall young man stood there, smiling as if he had rehearsed that smile for years. "Yes, please," she replied softly. Michael reached up with ease and pulled the book down. He handed it to her. "You should not fight shelves alone," he teased. Mabel laughed. "And you should not sneak up on people in libraries. Do you want me to scream and embarrass you?" "If you scream, everyone will believe you are guilty of hiding exam answers," Michael said. That made her laugh louder. From that moment she knew he was not like the others. They started meeting more often. At the cafeteria, Michael sat by her table. Kindly like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more episodes.